Hello everyone, it's Justine. Today I am going to be showing you one card using the small die of the month for August, and this is part of the Spellbinders monthly subscription items. So this is the small die, and yes, it is small, but it is not used only in one way, if that makes sense. I've already made one card using this die, and usually the reason why it's called small die of the month is because there's also a large die of the month, and that die tends to be physically bigger than this die, but it is definitely worth taking a look at because you can do a lot with this one, especially with the sentiments. So they give you a number of sentiments in this die set. They give you congrats, thanks, cheers, for you, hello, and I guess you could also do hello you. So that's it's covering a lot of the bases there. I'd say it covers most things except some of the holidays, but you could even use cheers for a birthday or New Year's or Easter, or I don't know. It might be a bit of a stretch there for Easter, but you know, it you can make it work, or you could choose not to use any sentiment and use this set just with the floral elements. So I will insert a little bit of video clip on the screen of what's all included in the die set. I showed that in the first video that I put up using this die set, and I basically just explain what each die does. So those are the dies, and I'll put that into the video right here. So as the title says, there are going to be some sentiments. So it comes with congrats, thanks, hello, for you, kind of together, and then cheers. Then it comes with a couple different flower or floral dies. So this is the big flower, and then some of the centers that you can choose to add in. These are little flowers that you can add to these little sprigs or not, and some leaves. All right, now that I've explained what all of the dies are, I will just show you what I'm up to. So I am gluing on my word sentiment onto the background part of the words. And this is pretty easy using my reverse tweezers. I love using them, especially for delicate pieces of paper like this, because it helps me put it on nice and straight. Right now, Spellbinders does not have a reverse tweezers on their website, as far as I know, but I think it'd be fun if they came out with one, perhaps incorporating it into the tool-in one. I love this as well. I think this pointed edge is very helpful for putting on or moving very delicate things or punching out stitch die holes, and this roller part is very helpful for getting out these little pieces like this. I have tons of them over by my die machine. I really should vacuum up those little guys, but these little holes where the embroidery needle goes through. So this is awesome. This is also the old tool-in one, so it comes with another piece that's kind of a little shovel. I find that really helpful when I use like crackle paste or that glitter paste from Simon Says Stamp, or I think Tim Holtz has some as well. So I do like using that little shovel, but it's also a really good pointer if you need a pointer. But the new tool-in one doesn't have that shovel piece in plastic. I think it's metal now. So there's also another attachment to that roller side that's a little bit bushier, and I think that's supposed to help with getting out the small paper from the stitching holes and things like that. But this one works for me, so I'm not going to buy a new one unless this one breaks. All right, I already have my little flowers kind of laid out how I'd like them to go. I'm just going to slide them up and over just so they stay kind of how I want them or how I've arranged. I did take a little picture of my idea before I glued or I moved them around on my phone. So I have that off to the side so I can see what the plan is. Now, I really have wanted to use this yellow piece of paper. I've had it as a scrap for probably a year, and I can't stand saving things like that. I have to use it. It's my brain. So I wanted to use blue and yellow, and I wanted to use this, and I thought that this really complemented the flowers. So I'm using it on this card, and yes, it's going to hang off the edge, and that's fine with me. I like to do that sometimes with cards just to give a little bit of interest. I've done that with several 5x7 cards, especially if the piece or the die that I am using is just too pretty to lop off. So now I'm going to glue on my flowers first and then put my congrats down over the top. And the congrats part, even though it's pretty skinny, is going to mask where my flowers are supposed to connect a bit without having it be on top of it. So I'm just going to kind of visualize where things are going. I think that looks about right. It's glued down for now. You can take these little flowers that I will be gluing on now and put them on before and have that green part go above them. I'm choosing not to for this card. For no particular reason besides the fact that I'm not feeling that. I think the small die of the month is a bit underrated. I know a lot of people love the card kits of the month. They really like the large die of the month, but the small die is a really good deal. In general, it's not very expensive at all. Depending on what it is, it's very, very worth the moolah. And I especially think that for dies like this that are not specific to one theme, it's not a certain animal or used for one holiday or one design style. It has several sentiments that even if you just thought to yourself, I would never use the flowers because I'm not a flower person, which is fine. There's definitely people out there that are like that because they've commented that on some of my pictures on the Facebook group that I run, but I digress. It's still worth the money for this kit, or this die, because of the sentiments. You can use the sentiment on any card, and like I said in the video that I made for my first card with this set, I think that this font for the sentiments are quite universal. They're not super girly or blocky, and I think that they could be used for some really neat cards. So it's probably one of those dies that I'm going to have off to the side after I'm done with the video and making a couple cards with, and it's going to be one that's not going to go at the back of my stash. It's probably going to go towards the front because I know that I will be pulling for sentiments like these often because I make cards like this quite often. Okay, I'm going to put this one a little bit lower just so it is hidden with the congrats whenever I glue that down. Oops. This one I put a little too high, so I'm going to have to put a flower on top of it or something to hide my mistake. I'm really excited to see what some other people make with this because it reminds me of the Be Bold Blooms die, which I haven't had a chance to really dig into yet, but I will. And I mean, people make beautiful projects with that. I've noticed a lot of cards, a couple bookmarks, just really beautiful projects. So I'm sure that this will be another really good one. Plus this die set pairs, did I glue that upside down? I sure did. This die set pairs really nicely with the Amazing Paper Grace die of the month from August. If you're familiar with that, fabulous. If you don't know what that is, the Amazing Paper Grace die is, I guess I don't really know the technical reason why it's called that, but it's kind of like a fancier die. So it's more of the like elegant looking cards, and there's several 3D ones, so you can make projects that have kind of like a, it's not just a card, but it's more of like a popped up element to it, so it's really delicate usually. So these sentiments would pair really well with the one from this month. There's a big long piece. Let's see if I can grab it real quick. I could definitely see some projects made using it. Here are the two. This is just part of it. There's also some bigger flowers and some sentiments as well, so even more sentiments, but you could use these dies with the sentiments from the small die of the month and make some really pretty cards. I think I'll make maybe a slim line or two with this. I haven't quite dove into this yet, but I will be, and there definitely will be videos on my channel during the month of August with those. If you're not into slimline cards, you could probably use that as well. It just would be not the full project. But there's some roses that are with that, and it's really pretty, so definitely check it out. All right, I'm putting the congrats on now, and it's layering on top of the flowers, which is just fine. I just want to make sure that it is straight. Sometimes I will do things kind of crooked on purpose, or wonky as some people call it, just for fun, but it also kind of hides any mistakes that you might have made. So, pro wonky. There you go. Okay, well, I think this card needs a little bling, so let me grab some of my gems that I just got from Spellbinders. Yes, these are really pretty. Okay, this is the crystal mix, and I should link these below as well. You can get them on the Spellbinders website. The nice thing about these is their adhesive is already on them, so it just makes it really easy to craft. I'll use my tool-in-one to stick some on. Now, do I want to use it on there? I think I will. I'm going to use these really tiny ones and put them on my big flowers. Boom. That just stepped it up a notch. I don't know if these are the best color option here. Let's see. You know, maybe I will just use my Stella on this one. If you don't know what this is, it's a water brush, and it's called a Wink of Stella. This is the glitter clear, and basically it just has a glitter liquid solution inside it, and you just kind of paint on where you would like things to be kind of glimmery, and it just puts on this really fine little glitter wherever you want. You don't have to be very precise with it. I guess you could if you wanted to. Usually I just kind of do that. I'm not really too precise because glitter here and there is kind of fun anyway, so I don't know, maybe someone's like, what is she doing? Oh my goodness, so messy. But that's me. There we go. All right, well, these are only 2 cards that I've made so far, but I'm sure that I will be using even more in the future. I did die cut out some of the leaves, but I really wasn't feeling like adding them, so I didn't. But oh well, that's the best part about crafting. You get to decide how to make it. Anyway, these are my 2 cards using the Outlined Sentiments, which is the small die of the month from Spellbinders for July 2022. So if you're interested in purchasing the die set, I will have it linked below. And if you liked the video, please go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe for more videos from me in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye.